Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Apologies for not putting up day 5 and 6, like that's Saturday and Sunday. It was a crazy weekend. I didn't get the time to shoot, so I hope to even shoot a lot of videos now, so that editing is usually not a problem, it's just shooting. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that happened today being Monday. So this morning, last night, I made pancakes and I drank milk with it. And in recent times, I've noticed that I've been becoming lactose intolerant, which was really hard for me to accept, because in university I used to like milk a lot and nothing was wrong until last year. And it was in trickles, it wasn't a lot. So I felt I could, sometimes I think I can take milk and get away with it. So that's like background story. So I took milk, like a glass of milk and pancakes. Another background story. When I was young, like junior school young, JSS 2-ish, I used to have this frequent stomach pain. It was really serious. Like my belly would hurt me so much that I can't walk. They would have to take me to the hospital bending. It wasn't just me, even Joy, my younger sister, had it too from time to time. And whenever we got to the hospital, they always said it was ulcer. My mom was not about her life, so she made sure to stuff us with food. Oh God. So it's not like today that I did not like to eat. It has been a long time coming. But my mom made sure that she made us eat, like we ate. So much so that ulcer vanished. You get. And for years, I think after GS2, I don't think I had any ulcer-related pain or ailments. All of a sudden last year, I started to have that same sharp pain. I didn't attribute it to being ulcer, because I'd forgotten that I even ever had ulcer pain. But it was getting too much, and then I told my partner about it. He's a pharmacist, and he said my symptoms were like ulcer. I've had ulcer before. But it was when he asked me, I remember that, oh, I used to have like an issue with ulcer. So last year I had to take drugs for a while, like to just help, because the pain was frequent. Then I started to pray about it, because what's that? I don't like that kind of stress. So I started to pray about it, and one of the things that was laid strongly in my spirit in praying about ulcer being healed was the fact that my healing is dependent on me. I mean, it always is. God has healed us, yeah. But the job I had to do was be careful with my diet and the things that I ate. So because I'm not a very careful person, I can be very carefree and sometimes even careless. But thank God for His doings in our life. So one of the things that I knew was going to happen was that I had to, stop taking some certain foods, and I had to not even take some certain food. It was not what I was taking, it was what I was not taking. So I had to eat more. I had to be conscious about eating more and on time at that. And also, as of last year, September, October-ish, I started to have pains whenever I take soda, Coke, Fanta, Sprite, whatever it was. So by November, I totally cut Coke out of my diet. And that's like a miracle, because like I was an addict for Coke. So throughout November, I probably took Coke like once or twice. And then in December, I didn't take Coke at all. Until the end of December, where I now took, I made Sharpman in the house. And I took a lot of Sharpman. In my head, it was Sharpman. But what's different? Sharpman is even a combination of all the sodas that I was trying to avoid. So what had happened was the period where I was particular about my health, about what I ate, how I ate, like when I ate, how often I ate. I was fine. I didn't have pains for months. Then I started to relax. That was in December ending, when I started to take a lot of Sharpman. And in January, I went AWire, because I took a lot of soda, I took a lot of malt this last year, January. And as I took it, every time I took it, I remembered that I was not supposed to be doing this. And mine, it wasn't just that I was not supposed to be doing this because you're not supposed to do it. It was, I'm not supposed to be doing this because that is my instruction, that's my role in this thing, in this whole. But I thought I could get away with it because I'd not had pains for a long time. So anyways, back to yesterday. I took a lot of milk. My head last I will purge. I will have pains a bit. Woke up this morning, had my bath, was ready to go to work, and I started to feel like purging. So I went to the toilet, I purged out my old belly, came back out. Before I could sit down, I went back to the toilet. As I went back, my belly started to pain me. Like it was so bad. I was in pains. Guys. Like it was hurting. And the worst part is I knew why I was hurting. So it was even more painful. That I could have avoided this, but I didn't. So I had to call work and say that I wasn't going to come work now, or maybe not even today. And I was in pains. It was so much pain, guys. I was rolling on the ground. At some point, I started to want to throw up. So I even went to the toilet and I threw up. Like, it was so painful to even throw up. I was throwing up so much. And pulling at the same time. And in pains at the same time. So I finally took some drugs and slept off. And after like 3-4 hours, the old pain subsided. I was very weak. And I still feel pain now. It's like past 9 that I'm shooting. I still feel pains now, but it's a whole lot better. I said all of this long story because throughout today I was just asking myself, you knew what you could have done and you stopped it. You didn't do it. A lot of us are praying for different things. Yours could be health, yours could be any other thing that it is, and you have clear-cut instructions on what to do or what not to do, but you're not doing them. So it looks like God is not answering your prayers. And you've told people that I want this, I want that, I want God to do this for me, and people are looking at you and it looks like God is not answering your prayers, but you're not telling them that I'm the one who play my part. So the question I really want to ask you today is, are you the stumbling block to your miracles? Are you the stumbling block to God blessing you? Does God want to bless you, but you are just being stubborn? Has God given you instructions and you're waiting for one magic to happen? Like, what we talked about some days ago, or was it the last video, on how your blow is not going to come from outside, it's from you. So are there things that God has laid in your heart to do that you have not done, or you're not doing consistently, and you're expecting the miracle to happen? Guys, how far? Using scriptural example, if Abraham was called and God said, leave your father's house, I'll make you a father of many nations, and Baba stayed in his father's house, he didn't do his part. Or when God told him to send Lot away, he didn't send Lot away. That's him not doing his part. Do you understand? So for everything that, and I could go on and on and on to list a lot of Bible example, Old Testament, New Testament alike, but you would see that there's something that God would have you do in that miracle that he wants to happen. It might even be something as mundane as reading more, as taking up a course, as just making your skills better, But are you doing them? It's the 7th day of February and the year is going fast already. So will it be the same thing this year, that your blow didn't happen, or that thing that you so desired did not happen, just because you didn't do the things you're supposed to do? The routine that God says you keep in 2021, have you been keeping them? All the small things that you had a strong nudge in your heart to do, have you been doing them? Those are the things that really would matter and make your miracles and testimonies and what you're expecting from God materialize. So I hope that I hope that you've learned your lesson. I hope that you've learned your lesson from my pain, and I hope that you do what God needs and requires of you to do in the whole equation. Thank you very much. I'm already even tired, safe. That's how tired I am because of the pain. But I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please, I'd like to hear your comments. What are the things that God has told you that you have not done, that you should be doing? Or what are the things that God told you to do and you did and you saw visible miracles? And where do you think you can turn? Make a U-turn. Are you willing to? All right, thank you guys. Bye. I usually used to have